everyone. I'm out here perusing the city, trying to find something interesting to paint. Lots of things going on. The sun is shining brightly today. And I've gone to 2 little parks and ended up at my old favorite Sawgrass Lake Park in Pinellas Park, Florida. So here we go. Okay, I'm using my tripod as a little selfie stick so you can see me. I'm out here at the park, Sawgrass Lake as usual. It's very beautiful out here. I will film more of it later, but I'm going to paint these reflections right here in this water of these big trees as they hang over the side of this. I would call it a stream, but it's actually just like an inlet for some water. The major water that's way back there where you see that little hut. Anyway, here we go. So I'm speeding this up a bit. I do not know what got into me. I decided I was going to paint with my palette knife, and I was going to paint quickly without having really a lot of detail in this painting. Mostly kind of just abstract. For this, you need a pretty decent amount of paint. I slowly change the colors of the sky into the light trees in the background, and then a little bit warmer as they get closer to the front. Darker and warmer and richer of color the closer they get. I have to hold that easel because the wind is blowing like crazy. When the sun comes out, it's very hot, and it's hard for me to take that heat. But it's also very, very breezy. This water is a very dark green, almost black, muddy looking color. Here and there you see a little bit of light reflections of green, and the water almost looks blue-white off on the left-hand side because the sun is coming from the left, shining onto the water. When it comes out, the water almost turns white in that corner as it comes across the water. But it's very dark throughout the rest of it. But there are some reflections from the trees that go through the water despite that. At this point, I use a big brush after I get some of this dark down because I really want the water a little flatter, not quite the same texture that I have in the trees and the grasses up above. Even though all those things are reflected in the water is basically a smooth surface. So I went ahead and used the brush to smooth out some of that. And there it goes. I walked away for 1 second because I needed water badly. And of course, the whole easel went over. At a certain point, I didn't even care. I just went and got my water anyway. But eventually, I managed to get the thing back up again. And I pushed it in front of my chair so I could sit down because I was getting a little peaked from the heat. So I may decide to wipe this whole thing out, throw it in the garbage, or keep it. I haven't decided yet. But I've done the whole painting. Just a little bit of this big giant brush and mostly a palette knife. And that's pretty much what I've got right now. This is not the way I usually paint. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. Sorry. If I take my camera off of here, it might help. There it is. So today I've decided I'm going to be kind of an abstract artist. I don't know why, I just decided to do it that way. Wanted to just be free and have some fun. I think there's a few things I could touch up here and there. Like, for instance, I think I should put a little yellow on this side of the tree. Why? Because all the sun is coming from there. And I want you to know that. That helped. Which is why I want sun poking up all around here. It's crazy for me to paint this way. This is not my style, but I did it anyway, and I've enjoyed it. Of course, I need some of that yellow in the water here, where I've got my little reflection. Yellow there. Of course, you know when I get home I will mess with this because that's just my nature. So this is my abstract rendition, grabbing colors and feelings and concepts and wind blowing everything over and just enjoying myself out there, not worrying about whether I'm painting anything perfectly, but just simply expressing my emotions. And I guess that's all an abstract is supposed to be. You might even just call this expressionistic impressionism, because you know that it's trees and water. But I think it's closer to abstract. Now I'm going to paint this whole painting over again in my regular style, which is more representational. So stay tuned for the second part of this video.